Dangerous, possibly life-threatening storms here now. This First Alert Weather Day has already had some tornado warnings tonight. Good evening. I'm Joy Limnacker here with First Alert meteorologist J.D. Disharoon, and this is to be taken very seriously.
It really is, because we've already had, as Joy said, several tornado warnings in our area this evening. So severe storms are going to continue to be an issue as we roll into the overnight hours. We already have a tornado watch in effect for most of metro Atlanta and really most of North Georgia and West Central Georgia as well. This lasts until 4 a.m. in the morning. And as we mentioned, we've already seen some tornado warnings in our area. So let's take a look at the live radar right now. You notice we have a lot of rain on North Georgia right now. No warnings at the moment. The other thing I want to point out to you is notice well in advance of the rain. So I'm talking Carrollton, Douglasville, Hiram, up in towards the Canton area and back towards Bartow County and Ackworth. There's a lot of lightning ahead of the actual storm line. So it just goes to show you how much energy is in the atmosphere for us right now. We're going to continue to monitor this as we head into the overnight hours. But for North Georgia right now, we're looking at just mainly showers, isolated rumble of thunder. The bigger threat of severe weather right now is just starting to get next to our Alabama counties. So Cleburne and Randolph, this is where we have a confirmed tornado rolling over the Talladega area, moving off to the northeast, and we'll continue to monitor these cells as they get closer and closer. In addition to that, we're going to be looking at very windy conditions. The storms aren't here yet, but we're already seeing wind gusts 30 to 40 miles an hour, and it just goes to show you don't need the storms in here to get those higher gusts and cause some damage. Biggest threats tonight are going to be wind damage and tornado, but we can't forget about the frequent cloud-to-ground lightning and the potential for flash flooding as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, JD. And this storm system certainly has already caused deadly damage west of Georgia. At least 31 people have been killed across several states. Several likely tornadoes have touched down across the South. Take a look at this new video showing a twister in northern Louisiana this afternoon. That left homes and power lines damaged near the town of Kentwood. Right now, we're still working to get information on any injuries there. And also widespread damage in Arkansas. Drone footage showing parts of Cave City in the northeastern part of that state wiped off the map. The National Weather Service saying that Cave City was struck by a tornado with peak winds of 165 miles an hour. Now, here's what you need to do if there is a tornado warning in your area. You go to the lowest part of your home, you shelter in the most interior room, away from windows, away from doors. You want to basically put as many walls possible between yourself and the storm. Also, of course, you want to make sure that your phone is charged, that you have multiple ways to get alerts. And if you are in the brunt of the storm, you could even use a helmet to keep you or your loved ones safe from any debris that could then be thrown into the air at that time. Now, we do have team coverage across Georgia tonight. Our reporters inside shelters open to keep everyone safe. Atlanta News First Bridget Spencer is live tonight in Troup County. And Bridget, Troup County, no stranger to tornadoes. People there really heeding the warnings.
That's right. They're really not taking any chances. We are at the Hogansville Police Department, and they've actually opened their doors for people trying to get out of the storm and ride it out safely. Now, this area is the basement that they've opened up. They also have an area upstairs where people are sitting. In fact, we were just up there. This is just one of the numerous places in the county that have opened their doors tonight. We're seeing people actually coming in. Now, some of these people we've talked to are longtime Troup County residents who've seen some strong storms roll through, such as what happened in 2023 when we saw that EF3 tornado that obliterated parts of West Point Road here in Troup County. Now, we just spoke to a woman who was in LaGrange with her mother earlier today, but she said, you know what, it's best to ride out the storm here at the police department where it's safer.
I've never actually been in a tornado. It's just, I'm just scared of them. I feel like if I can get somewhere safer, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying it's better to be safe than sorry. Other places in the county that you can go to include Rosemont Baptist Church and LaGrange. Also, we've just learned that First Baptist Church has opened their doors in LaGrange. Another thing we've learned is Troup County, in addition to Governor Kemp's state of emergency being issued, Troup County has also issued their own state of emergency just to ensure that the resources can get here as quickly as possible if there is a lot of damage that we see in here in Troup County. We're live in Troup County tonight. Bridget Spencer, Atlanta News First.
Thank you, Bridget. And there will be a lot of severe weather alerts tonight. All of them are important, but it's also equally important to know exactly what they mean. So a tornado watch means that conditions are favorable for a funnel cloud to appear. When a tornado warning is issued, that means a tornado has either been spotted or indicated by radar. And that is when you and your family really need to take cover immediately. Now, these storms really bring back a lot of memories of what happened 17 years ago in the city. It was the first and last time a tornado hit downtown Atlanta. Windows were blown out of buildings across the city. This is a look at the Westin Peachtree Plaza, the round skyscraper covered in reflective glass. Right now, some nonprofits are rushing to get the homeless somewhere safe to ride out the storm. Atlanta News First Sawyer Bussey is live on Gresham Road in Atlanta. And Sawyer, Frontline response, I know they're working late into tonight.
That's right. These are actually the buses that are going to be going out tonight. Crisis teams are making sure people who want to be indoors tonight have a safe place to go. When you get somewhere and don't want to go back.
I mean, I'm sure you see yourself in some of these people.
Right.
And what does it feel like to be like, here is the helping hand that I never had?
You try to pull people up so they don't stay where you've been.
I know a lot of the guys that we interact with, they have trust issues because of things that they run into on the streets. But I try to be that person that they can trust to say, hey, I was in a similar situation, man. And
Jabari is part of Frontline Response's crisis team. He's out now looking for people who need a safe place to be as severe weather moves in.
Anytime that there's a crisis going on, we go out and make sure that we focus on two particular groups of people, the unhoused population and people who are suspected of being trafficked.
Many people who are living on the streets might not always have ways to get weather information. So Terry and his team could be their first heads up that severe weather's on the way. For the past 5 days, the organization has been going out in the community trying to get people inside where it's safe. They say they're going to be doing this until 1 o'clock this morning. These are the times we see who the helpers are in our community. These are also the times that we see what that help does for communities.
This place is a home for me, but has given me hope for the future.
Now, crews will be out until 1 a.m. in Atlanta. Sawyer Bussey, Atlanta News First.
Thank you, Sawyer. And Atlanta News First is your source to stay informed during the storms. Our team of First Alert meteorologists will be here working all night long. You can text weather to 470-777-WANF, and we will send a link right to the page on atlantanewsfirst.com filled with resources to keep you and your family safe.
Let's take another look at your First Alert weather. We do have that tornado watch in effect for North Georgia and West Georgia until 4 a.m. in the morning. This includes the majority of the metro Atlanta area. So the threat is just starting to get underway. You notice right now, live on your First Alert radar, we're still relatively quiet. A lot of lightning ahead of the line, but for now, we're staying at least severe weather free in North Georgia. Most of this is just some very heavy rain rolling through Rome, Floyd County up towards Calhoun and Ellijay. The bulk of the severe weather is still back to our west in Alabama, where we have not one, but two confirmed tornadoes that are on the ground moving off towards the northeast. We're going to continue to watch these as they push closer and closer to our viewing area. Given the threat for severe weather overnight, the power outage threat tonight is on the higher end. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and charge those devices and charge those battery packs to give you a little extra juice. And more importantly, have a way to get your weather warnings and your weather information if the power goes out. Easiest way to do that is to download the First Alert Weather app, and you can get the live radar in the palm of your hand, plus live app updates and your 7-day forecast.
Absolutely right, JD. And we are here to get you through this First Alert weather day and help you prepare for the aftermath. If your property is damaged, there's some things you should and some things you should not do.
70 to 80 miles an hour tonight. In addition to that, as we just saw on your first alert radar, intense, frequent cloud-to-ground lightning is going to be an issue. And as we already discussed, so is the possibility for flash flood throughout North Georgia.
Thank you, JD. And some more video tonight giving you an idea of what we could see tonight. This is a possible tornado moving through Tuscaloosa County, just west of Birmingham. That area, of course, no stranger to severe weather. A deadly tornado ripped through Tuscaloosa on April 27th of 2011. It'll be hard to see weather at night, making these storms all the more dangerous. And it's really important that you have a plan in place tonight. If you haven't already, identify the severe weather safe space in your home. A basement is usually the best bet, away from exterior doors and windows. If you don't have a basement, officials recommend huddling in an interior room or under a doorway. Also a good idea to have a first aid kit, maybe even a helmet in case trees or debris come crashing into your home. You can secure any patio furniture or trash cans that might be outside and have a way to monitor the weather forecasts. Officials also recommend packing a safety kit, which can include things like a backup source for power, water, a flashlight, a whistle so first responders can find you if for some reason debris were to fall on your home. And make sure that you're wearing shoes as well. Also make sure that your phone is charged and grab a first aid kit. If you do have one. Hopefully you do. It's something that we see often in metro Atlanta when we get storms as well, trees falling on homes. Not only can it be deadly, it can also be costly. Atlanta News First Better Call Harry explains what you should do and not do if you have damage.
When a tree crashes through a roof, one of the homeowner's first priorities is to keep the damage from growing, literally. Most, if not all, insurance companies require storm-damaged roofs to be tarped because once water gets in, mold starts growing in about 24 hours. Remediations cost thousands of dollars, and the claim could be denied if the insurance company determines that the homeowner didn't take steps to prevent it. Who tarps the roof? Not you, the tree removal company. And there are lots of them. If a tree service knocks on your door and offers to start immediately, take their card and get a quote. Get several quotes. Some of the best advice comes from J.D. Shamoon with 72 Tree. He's been specializing in catastrophic tree removal since 1969.
If you're looking to hire a tree specialist or a catastrophic claim handler, make sure he doesn't hurry you up and rush you to sign documentation or pay up front. A real professional doesn't need any money up front.
Yep, do not pay up front. Require proof of insurance and absolutely, under no conditions, pay the bill until the cut-up tree is off your property. The bad guys promise to come back and never do.
You can find all of Harry's advice right now on AtlantaNewsFirst.com. And a reminder to download the First Alert Weather app if you haven't yet done so. You can still get the latest updates wherever you are, even if your power goes out or your internet goes down. Just scan the QR code on your screen to get a link to download the free app, or you can search for us in your app store. Atlanta Watershed Management rushing to fix a water main break in Buckhead right now before the storms arrive here in the city. Crews are still on scene at the intersection of Delmont Drive and Peachtree Road, not far from the Peach Shopping Mall. Several nearby homes and businesses are impacted. We're told the repairs were expected to be completed around 9 p.m. and they're now in the final stage of repairs.
Now, First Alert Weather with meteorologist J.D. Disharoon.
And as we take a look at the tornado watch that is in effect for North Georgia, it is going until 4 o'clock in the morning and could possibly be extended beyond that for the eastern portion of our viewing area because we do have a very intense line of showers and storms that are going to be pushing through the area. I do want to point out that we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning for our area. So this is going to be for Randolph and Cleburne counties over into Alabama. So for folks over into the Lineville area and then back up towards Heflin, this is going to be rolling up into your area as we go through the next 15 to 20 minutes. Frequent cloud-to-ground lightning and then strong damaging winds up to 60 miles an hour are possible with this system as it continues to push up to the northeast at about 55 miles an hour. If it holds together, that would mean it's going to be starting to push into Polk and Haralson counties within the next half hour or so. So here's what we have for our severe threats. You know, we've already gone over this, but want to emphasize wind damage and tornado threat is very high, lightning is high, and then the threat for flash flooding is at the moderate level. So here's the map. The biggest threat for flash flooding is going to be from Carrollton to Canton to Helen and then back up to the north and west. Now, even though Metro Atlanta is not in that yellow area, we still have a level 1 out of 4 risk. So if you do live in a flood-prone area, you definitely want to take those precautions. In addition to that, here's our tornado risk. Anywhere you see that hatched area, pretty much our entire viewing area, that is where we have the threat for long track, strong tornadoes as we go throughout the evening. So again, I can't emphasize this enough. Make sure you have a way to get your warnings tonight while you're asleep so that you can wake up and protect you and your family in the event some of these stronger storms are rolling your way. Let's go ahead and take a look at your future radar. Notice by the time we get to 11 o'clock, starting to move into northwest Georgia, but the heaviest storms look to start rolling in as we get towards 1 o'clock in the morning, making their way towards Atlanta by about 2 o'clock in the morning, and then it will continue to slide off towards the east. The farther east you go, the tornado threat does go down. The flip side is that doesn't mean the severe threat is going down. What it means is we're switching over to that damaging straight line wind threat, and you can kind of see that with the curvature here of the line that the future radar is starting to pick up. That would be indicative of possibly 70 to even 80 mile an hour winds as we go through the early morning hours. So if you get a severe thunderstorm warning and it's forecast 70 to 80 mile an hour winds, treat that as you would a tornado warning and take shelter immediately. Again, power outages are very likely tonight. Make sure your devices and your backup batteries are charged. The good news is once we get beyond the storm threat, we start to clear out. It will be windy on Sunday. By Monday, your St. Patrick's Day, cooler with a high of 62. The winds have subsided though, and by Wednesday and Thursday, we're warming up quite nicely with mostly sunny skies and temperatures in the mid to upper 70s. A brief cool down to end the week, but here's the silver lining. Just get to next weekend, beautiful sunny skies and temperatures back into the mid 70s.
I think we deserve that. Thank you, JD. You know, an arrest has been made in a disturbing case in Cherokee County. How authorities were able to track down a man accused of throwing a dog from a moving truck. And we continue staying on top of the weather as an urgent threat as severe weather moves from Alabama into Georgia. First Alert Weather Day. We are seeing some strong wind in Atlanta ahead of tonight's storms. So here's a live camera in Sandy Springs. It's been shaking there. You can see it shaking a little bit. Gusty winds also expected to stick around tomorrow. But obviously, we have our eyes on what's happening tonight. First Alert meteorologist J.D. Disharoon.
Yeah, that's right. If you take a look at the wind gusts right now, you can see why that camera is bouncing up and down. We're looking at gusts of 37 miles an hour in Atlanta. Carrollton now gusting up to 43 miles an hour. These winds are not storm related just yet. It's just a very strong wind ahead of the system, and we're going to be dealing with this again tomorrow behind the system. So just kind of keep that in mind. Those could also bring down trees and cause power outages in addition to the storms that we do have. In fact, those storms have triggered a tornado watch for most of North Georgia. Our eastern counties not quite included yet. I would not be surprised, though, later in this evening if you do get included. Right now, tornado watch goes until 4 o'clock in the morning. I do want to touch on some tornado safety for you. While we zoom into the house here, you can see the best spots are going to be interior rooms not touching an exterior wall. So that's going to be your hallway, your closet. In this case, the bathroom is okay because there's no window, but you really want to get into the center of the house as possible. And as always, a basement is the best place for you to be. Unfortunately, for those of you who live in mobile and manufactured homes, there is no safe place for you inside your home. So go ahead, if you haven't already, try and find a shelter or a place with family and friends to go.
Great advice, JD. And we want to make sure that everyone is staying weather aware tonight. Our First Alert weather team is going to be tracking the radar all throughout the night. You can text the word weather to the number on your screen right now, 470-777-WANF, for a direct link to download our First Alert weather app for free. In other news today, a man now facing charges for allegedly pushing a dog out of a moving truck in Cherokee County, resulting in that dog's death. Alfredo Cerati he's from Smyrna. He turned himself in on Friday. Well, his charges include abandonment of a dead animal, improper disposal of a dead animal, and giving a false statement. The incident happened on I-575 Thursday afternoon. Investigators say witnesses played a key role in the arrest. After getting a description of the suspect's vehicle, authorities used flock cameras to track down that driver. Tonight, tributes are pouring in after the death of Lisa Young Alston. She's the daughter of prominent civil rights figure and former Atlanta Mayor Andrew Young. According to the family, Young died last night. No cause of death was given. The news comes just 2 days after Andrew celebrated his 93rd birthday. Atlanta Mayor Andre Dickens released a statement saying in part, quote, "Lisa will be remembered for her warmth, her strength, and the kindness she extended to everyone she encountered." Mayor Dickens offered condolences and prayers for the Young family. The storms we've been warning you about all week long have now arrived in Georgia tonight. We're showing you more of the damage it's caused for our neighbors to the west of our state. Strong storms moving further into Georgia right now. It's the greatest threat of tornadoes in several years. First Alert meteorologist J.D. Disharoon tracking this very serious First Alert weather day.
Yeah, that's right. We're already starting to see the showers and storms roll into Georgia. We've already had a tornado warning, actually 2 in our viewing area as we've gone through tonight. So it is definitely a weather situation we need to prepare for. The good news is it's not here yet, so you got a little bit more time. We do, though, already have the tornado watch in effect as we go until 4 a.m. in the morning for most of the viewing area. Our far eastern counties, including Athens, Conyers, and Covington, not quite included yet, but we do expect that to be extended as we go into the overnight hours. Here's a live look at the radar right now. We do have a lot of rain over North Georgia, but no warnings, and you can see that we're going to be dealing with that as we go into the rest, really the next few hours. But as we zoom in just a bit to our west, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning for Cleburne and Randolph counties. This is going to go until 10:15 p.m. Central Time, and it's for 60-mile-an-hour winds, some very small hail moving rapidly off to the northeast at 55 miles an hour. So folks in Tallapoosa and then back over towards the rest of Haralson County, this is going to be slowly moving into your direction. Meanwhile, we're already starting to see the fact that we do have some power outages across the metro area. Meanwhile, we're going to continue to watch this as we go into the rest of the evening. The power outages that we're seeing, not from the storms. They're actually from the strong winds we've seen ahead of the system. Right now, Cobb County has over 3,500 customers without power. Again, not storm related. This is just strong winds ahead of the system, 30 to 40 miles an hour with some isolated amounts like Carroll County right now, gusting 40 to 50 miles an hour. So the wind damage tonight from these winds ahead of the line and straight line winds, very high. Tornado damage is also very high. Lightning and flooding also concerns as we head throughout the evening.
Thank you, JD. Well, Atlanta News First has teams on the ground in Metro Atlanta tonight as well. Let's check back in with First Alert meteorologist Cutter Martin and the First Alert road tracker. All right, Cutter, where are you now?
Yeah, Joy, we're actually downtown, taking you outside. This is the Piedmont Avenue overpass. We're on 7585 southbound, just south of the Grady Curve, trying to get onto Interstate 20 eastbound, rather westbound, but both lanes, east and west, trying to get onto the freeway here, packed. It is gridlock out here. Also ran into big delays coming out of Midtown, Spring Street, right as you head southbound, trying to get onto the northbound on-ramp onto the connector. That was also gridlock. We have Blake Shelton in town tonight. So many activities going on. People knew, or hopefully should have known, storms were coming, and we're cutting it close here. Folks hopefully aware of the nasty conditions that are moving in, but right now everyone seems to be outside kind of enjoying their Saturday evening. Probably hear the cars speeding by here. Nice weather now. It's very, very windy, but no rain, no hail, no severe weather in town. But if this many people are on the roads when the dangerous weather moves in, we're going to have some issues later this evening. Again, we're eyeing roads safely here in the Cool Ray First Alert Tracker, and we'll continue to keep you updated headed west towards the Alabama state line. Reporting live in downtown Atlanta, Cutter Martin, Atlanta News First.
Thank you, Cutter. And as severe weather moves in, it's really important to know where the safest place in your home is.
I'm Chelsea Beinfor in Cobb County. We are in a basement right now, which is one of the safest places to be during severe weather. Public safety officials say if you don't have a basement, find an interior room on the lowest level of your home. Also, make sure to charge your phone and have water and food on hand in case the power goes out. It's also a good idea to have a first aid kit or a helmet in case trees or debris crash into your home. You can also secure patio furniture or trash cans that may be outside. And of course, have a way to monitor the weather forecast.
And the First Alert weather team, of course, has been warning about this system all week long. Storms rolled through Mississippi and Alabama earlier today. Some new videos showing some of the aftermath in Grenada County, Mississippi, where some buildings were flattened. At least 3 people were hurt in that area. And look at this video out of Tylertown, Mississippi, showing a likely tornado cutting through a neighborhood there. A family watched as debris was hurled through the windows. Thankfully, they only reported minor damage to the home, but their cars were badly hit, and at least 3 people were killed in that storm in Tylertown. Search and recovery efforts are still ongoing tonight. Power outages are a major possibility tonight, as we've been discussing. Georgia Power saying that they've staged crews all across the state ready to respond.
Storms are a little different than a hurricane or something like that, we know kind of the path. Storms are unpredictable, so we want to make sure that we have assets all over the state to respond as quickly as possible.
And I know JD mentioned there have already been some power outages, so if you're using a generator, there's some things that you should keep in mind. Never use it indoors or in an attached garage. Don't plug a portable generator into an electrical outlet in your home or your garage. Don't overload the generator. Also, don't store gas for your generator indoors. And another reminder that you want to be mindful of any falling trees tonight. Atlanta is known as a city in a forest, and we have downed trees most times that storms do roll through. Just last month, the tree crashed into a home in Grove Park, and that ended up killing a man. Another reminder to download our First Alert Weather app. You can still get the latest updates wherever you are, even if your power goes out or the internet goes down. You can scan the QR code on your screen for a link to download that app for free, or you can search for us in your app store. MARTA rail services back up and running after being suspended at 2 stations. Officials telling us someone was hit by a train around 7:30 this morning. This resulted in the College Park station and the station at the airport being closed. Right now, we're still working to learn more information about the victim's condition. Of course, it created a lot of headaches for people trying to get around this morning. Atlanta News First spoke to a couple headed to the St. Patrick's Day parade in Midtown.
There's 5 or 6 police at the far end of the station down there at the end of the platform, but they're just standing around talking, so they're not sure what's going on. And the train is still parked there.
Well, MARTA offered shuttles to passengers. It also activated MARTA Connect, meaning travelers could get an $8 Uber or Lyft credit on rides to or from the stations. And right now, we're working to learn the name of a man killed after being hit by multiple vehicles on I-285 in DeKalb County. Police responded to the scene near Flat Shoals Parkway around 4:30 this morning. At least one driver stayed on scene to speak to police.
Now, your First Alert Weather Day is underway, continuing to watch the tornado threat as we go throughout the evening hours. A tornado watch again in effect for most of North Georgia until 4 o'clock in the morning. For those of you in Athens, over in towards Covington, down towards Eatonton, if you're not included now, you probably will be later on in the evening. Here's your First Alert radar. We're continuing to watch some very heavy rain across North Georgia, increasing that flash flood threat. And then we do have the very strong storms knocking on the Georgia-Alabama line. They're going to be slowly pushing into our area as we go into the next several hours. With all of this said, we can't emphasize enough, power outage threat tonight is high. Go ahead and charge your devices and your battery packs to make sure you can get those warnings if the power goes out.
Yeah, very important for everyone to have that heads up there. Cities in Metro Atlanta trying to make sure that everyone has a safe place to stay tonight. Crews in DeKalb County did some work to get ahead of the storm, and a live look at the radar as storms move closer to Metro Atlanta.
And as we take a live look at your first alert radar, we're going to continue to watch the threat for severe weather continue to increase as we head into the next several hours. We've had some very heavy, steady rains across North Georgia, but we're continuing to watch the threat increase across our western counties. So right now we still have a severe thunderstorm warning for Cleburne and Randolph counties in Alabama. This is until 10:15 p.m. Central Time. It's for 60-mile-an-hour winds, but we also have some small hail, particularly north of the Heflin area, and frequent, intense cloud-to-ground lightning that is going to be affecting you. So go ahead and start seeking your safe place. Folks in Tallapoosa, this is heading your way. Meanwhile, ahead of all of this, we have some very strong winds, not thunderstorm winds, just strong winds, and they are causing power outages across the metro area. Right now, 3,500 customers in Cobb County, 1,000 customers in Fulton, 400 in Douglas, and 1,000 up in Bartow County. So we're going to continue to watch these, unfortunately, rise as we head throughout the evening, and we'll have another update for you in just a moment.
Thank you, JD. And Troup County still recovering from last month's weather damage. Now they're bracing for even more tonight. That's where Atlanta News First Bridget Spencer is live. Bridget.
Well, Troup County residents tell me, look, they are not going to be caught off guard. They don't want to relive what they saw in 2023. Now, the winds are picking up out here. We've noticed that in the last couple of hours. If you live in the area, you can come to the Hogansville Police Department. They opened up their department for a shelter. There's a main room. They also have a basement. Now, the Troup County Emergency Management Director told me just a few hours ago they have issued officially a local state of emergency for the county. Now, this is in addition to Governor Brian Kemp's order. This allows more resources to pour in just in case they are hit really hard once again by this severe weather. There are multiple shelters around the county that you can go to, Hogansville Police Department being just one of them. And we've noticed some people have already stepped in because they just don't want to take any chances. Of course, we're going to be out here for the remainder of the night and keep you posted. But again, one thing you can do is ride out the storm safely here at the police department. We're live in Troup County. Bridget Spencer, Atlanta News First.
Great to know that. Thank you so much, Bridget. Neighbors in DeKalb County definitely heard the warnings about tonight's storms. This week, we saw people stocking up on safety supplies at Ace Hardware in Decatur. DeKalb County leaders telling us they want to make sure everyone has a safe place to go. And there are 4 severe weather centers open across DeKalb. The nonprofit Frontline worked to pick up people who are homeless and get them off the street as well. The system producing storms in Georgia tonight is huge. Several states are impacted. Several weather-related deaths already being reported as well. Here's CBS News reporter Jason Allen.
Violent tornadoes spawned from an enormous storm system touched down in at least 7 states Friday night into Saturday. Oh my God! Near St. Louis, Missouri, the storms arrived in the dark, illuminated by lightning strikes.
I had glass flying everywhere into my face and my arms and everything.
Dan Lawnstrom took cover inside the cab of his tractor trailer in this community west of St. Louis. His truck slammed by another truck, pushed over by the high winds. He watched as the twister blew apart a nearby gas station and restaurant.
And there was tons of people up in the store that were just running around crying and screaming, and it was pretty scary.
Families in a nearby neighborhood ran for their basements. Joy Asdu and her children came back upstairs to find the entire second floor of their home gone.
I thought that we were going to die. My kids was crying. I was just trying to cover their heads, and
Could you, when you're down in the basement?
we couldn't see anything. We didn't know what was happening.
The fast-moving storm caused blizzard conditions near Flagstaff, Arizona, resulting in this deadly 18-vehicle pileup. When the storm reached West Texas, it kicked up dust, leading to a deadly multi-vehicle crash. Winds sparked and then supercharged dozens of wildfires in several states. Homes burned to the ground in Texas and Oklahoma.
The front side and the back side of this neighborhood totally burned, and just so thankful that we didn't have any fatalities here.
In the northern plains, the storm is expected to drop up to a foot of snow.
There were no deaths in this community, but some of the people I talked to here had no insurance. Jason Allen, CBS News in Villa Ridge, Missouri.
Now, First Alert Weather with meteorologist J.D. Disharoon.
Let's go ahead and look at that tornado watch as we go into the evening hours. Right now, most of North Georgia under that watch until 4 o'clock in the morning. Our eastern counties, not quite there. So Athens, Covington, over towards Eatonton, you're not included. Everyone to your west, though, is. And we're already starting to see those showers and storms start to knock on the door from the state border from Alabama into northwest Georgia. So for folks over into Carrollton, up into Tallapoosa right now, Cedartown, you're seeing a lot of lightning off to your west. That's with a severe thunderstorm warning over into Cleburne and Randolph County. 60-mile-an-hour winds moving off to the northeast at 55 miles per hour. Here are your storm threats for the overnight hours. Wind damage, straight line winds, very high. Tornado threat, very high as we head into the evening. Cloud to ground lightning, high, and then flash flooding, moderate. So pretty much almost every severe threat is on the table as we head into the evening hours. Here's the flood risk map for tonight. Notice everyone in North Georgia is under at least a level 1 out of 4 risk. From Carrollton up to Canton, Ellijay, Helen, you're a level 2. And then extreme northwest Georgia for Dade, Walker, and Chattooga counties, you're going to be under a level 3 risk. Now, as for tornadoes, everyone under the hatched area, pretty much everyone who can watch us in North Georgia and our Alabama and North Carolina counties has the risk for strong, long-lasting tornadoes. We're talking EF2 or higher. Highest threat of that is going to be from Rome down towards the LaGrange area and over in towards Douglasville. Timing all of this out. We've already seen those showers off into northwest Georgia. They're going to continue to slide on through. The main line, though, starts to enter the state as we get towards midnight, 1 a.m. That's when it'll be pushing through Rome into Carrollton, Douglasville by about 2 o'clock. Same for the city of Atlanta. And then sliding over towards Athens by 4 o'clock in the morning. The farther east this system gets, the less the tornado threat is. That's why we went down to a 3 and then eventually a 2. That does not mean the severe weather threat is going down. It means it's transitioning into a straight line wind threat. Radar, future radar, that is starting to pick up on that. You can see that Boeing segment, very large one. That's basically a squall line trying to form. That's where we could see 70 to even 80-mile-an-hour winds with this system as we get into early Sunday morning. And then finally, all of this starts to leave by Sunday afternoon. Back edge of this, notice by 8 a.m., we're starting to see a little shower activity. Not going to be severe, but that's the front itself, and that's when winds could again gust up to 50 miles per hour. We've already seen this evening that it doesn't take strong winds from a thunderstorm to cause power outages. It just takes strong winds, period. And they're going to continue, meaning, unfortunately, our power outage index, high tonight. Make sure you got your devices charged and extra battery packs charged if you have them. Now, by the time we get to Sunday afternoon, it's sunny and windy, temperatures falling, and then they'll fall all the way down into the 30s and 40s Monday morning. It's a cold start to the week. And then by the afternoon, low 60s with sunny skies for your St. Patty's Day. By Tuesday, back into the mid-70s. In fact, Tuesday and Wednesday looking pretty darn good. And by Thursday, another slight chance of rain. Will definitely cool off, though. Mid-60s for your Thursday and Friday. Heading into next weekend, gorgeous. Let's look forward to that. That's our silver lining. Sunny skies with highs in the mid-70s.
Hey, the Atlanta Braves playing 2 this Saturday in the Sunshine State, plus the Falcons giving their new backup quarterback a hefty bonus. We have those details and more when ANF Sports returns. Let's go first to the Atlanta Falcons, whose ongoing conundrum with quarterback Kirk Cousins crosses yet another milestone this Saturday. Cousins guaranteed another $10 million from the club. That courtesy a roster bonus that triggered around 4 o'clock this afternoon. The 36-year-old is still due $27.5 million this season. We'll see where he ends up. To the Atlanta Braves, back on Gray for one of 2 split squad games this Saturday. The good news is Austin Riley's back in the lineup after taking that pitch off the hand on Friday, but the story Saturday all about starters. We go here with A.J. Smith-Shawver, the 22-year-old righty in full command against Minnesota. Top second gets Jose Miranda chasing. He fanned 2 in the frame. Then 4th inning, Brooks Lee's turn to head back to the dugout. Final line for A.J. is as follows. 4 innings pitched, 6 hits allowed, 8 total strikeouts. A strong contender for that 4th spot in the starting rotation, but the Braves fall in that late game. It's a similar theme in Game 1, and I promise you it's not deja vu. Reigning Cy Young Award winner Chris Sale starting for Atlanta against his old team. And the Boston Bats just couldn't keep up. Rafi Devers chases there in the 1st, and plenty more where that came from in the 6th inning. How about new Red Sox Alex Bregman swinging and missing? And so does Tristan Casas. Sale strikes out the side in the 6th, finishes the day with 9 total strikeouts and the win. Georgia Tech baseball hosting Pittsburgh, and Georgia Tech football head coach Brent Key enjoying the offseason at the ballpark. The Yellow Jackets putting on a clinic. 5th inning, Kent Schmidt sends this ball to the wall, scoring Drew Burress. Double trouble for Schmidt makes it 3-0 Tech. Next batter, Alex Hernandez. He stays hot with a flare to right. Schmidt scores. It's 5-0 Tech by the end of the 5th inning. And then in the 6th, Burris doing what he does best, to the window, to the wall. Another Tech double plates Kyle Lodi's DB's team-leading 25th RBI of the season. And then Parker Brocious reaches into the bag of tricks. How about the bunt play? Perfectly executed to score the run. Usual suspects getting it done for Tech. It's an 11-1 win, which doubles as a historic one for head coach Danny Hall. He now is 10th most career wins in NCAA baseball history.
I love coaching. I love being around our players every day, but, you don't do it unless you have some longevity. I can, smile a little bit about it, but, like I said, it takes a lot of people to make this happen.
Georgia baseball trying to extend its winning streak to 17 in a row Saturday against Kentucky, but the defense keeping the Cats in it. My goodness, check out this web gem in the 7th inning. Patrick Herrera gets the ball in foul territory, gets the force out at 3rd, then makes the throw to 1st for the double play. Kentucky would add on 13 hits at the plate, including one from Herrera himself. The very next frame, a solo shot to add on some insurance for Kentucky. The Dogs' winning streak snapped as the rubber match goes Sunday from Athens. Sticking with college sports, Selection Sunday just one sleep away, and 2 teams from our area are hoping to hear their names called during the annual selection show here on CBS. The UGA men and the Georgia Tech women, with no more games remaining before the bids are cast. Here are their resumes as both teams think that they're in the tournament. Dogs with an impressive late-season push inside that tough SEC conference. They're along the 9 line, according to Joe Lunardi, while Tech started hot, won 15 in a row, but lost steam late in the season. Could benefit from that week off and get healthy. This selection show starts at 6 o'clock here on CBS. You don't have to change the channel. That's Sports, Marin Ladd.
And as we take a look at your first alert weather, we've had several areas seeing power outages due to strong winds ahead of the storms that are moving in. Carrollton and LaGrange, 40-mile-an-hour gusts, almost that in Atlanta, Canton. And we're going to continue to see these winds as we go into the overnight hours, even after the storms have rolled through. Tornado watch is in effect for most of us until 4 o'clock in the morning. And I do want to emphasize some tornado safety. If you do have a warning and you live in a mobile home or a manufactured home, there is no safe place. Go ahead and find an alternative to go to right now if you have the chance. There are several counties that have shelters open that you can go to as well if you don't have family or friends. In the home, the interior of the house, no exterior walls or windows. In this case, it's going to be the hall or the closet. Bathroom, a good secondary choice. Even though it has an exterior wall, there are no windows. And the best place overall, if you have it, is going to be the basement. So make sure to go ahead and plan before you head to bed and know what your severe plan is. Okay. That way, if you do get alerted to a warning overnight, you know exactly what you should be doing.
Absolutely. Thank you, JD. Thanks so much for joining us at 10 o'clock. Our First Alert weather team continuing to track the storms tonight on Atlanta News First over on WANF.